Okay, so after reviewing the burn, about 9% of this patient's body was burned, according to the rule of nines, on the right upper extremity, about mid biceps to about 3 centimeters proximal to his right wrist. And it's a moderate superficial partial burn because it involves the epidermis and some of the dermis, as it looks somewhat moist and blistered in some areas. And then I would use the Vancouver burn scale, as that outcome measure is obviously a scale for burns. So this is a thermal burn, opposed to being a chemical or electrical burn, and came from direct contact with flames as he was burning his leaves. This is an acute wound as it happened 3 days ago. He's currently in the cellular process of inflammation, as he is only 3 days from injury. This phase is characterized by pain, swelling, and loss of function. He'll begin to get into the proliferation phase relatively soon, within the next several days to about a week. First, vasculature locally will constrict, and surrounding vasculature will bring platelets to the area leading to a fibrin clot, allowing the wound to start healing. And then neutrophils will be recruited to the area to work as macrophages to clean it up, followed by the inflammatory stage ending and the wound experiencing angiogenesis, and endothelial cells will proliferate and start to really heal the burn at that point. Fibroblasts come to the area and create that granulation tissue, which helps to get the wound bed ready. And some of those fibroblasts also differentiate into myofibroblasts, which begin to grow the borders of the wound together to end up closing the wound with that new skin. As far as any barriers for this patient, because he is in charge of his wife, taking care of her, she's dependent on him for all cares, almost all cares anyway. And so he's going to have an extremely hard time keeping that arm protected, as well as not using it too much, giving it the best opportunity to heal, and keeping it well dressed. And so I'll want to communicate the importance of making sure that the arm is protected, keeping the dressings on it, and hopefully I'll be able to communicate to them that they, if they have any family in the area, any children or friends that would be able to come over and help with caring for his wife and helping to take care of him as well, that it would be highly helpful, be very effective, and very necessary. Help them create that plan, make sure that they're well versed in how to take care of that wound. Because the wound was already cleaned up in the ER, we won't be doing any debridement. There's no necrotic tissue, so most likely don't have to clean anything, unless obviously something has changed in the last few days. We would want to put a dressing, possibly another treatment of silver sulfadiazine, and reapply the non-adherent impregnated gauze, just so that we don't rip up anything as that gauze was changed. The next dressing, we want to make sure that we minimize the bulk so that he has available range as much as possible, and that it's not obviously in the way. And also probably want to use some sort of compression to minimize the edema that may happen in the area. So that's how we're going to take care of this patient.